Hi guys, it's West Coast Arachnids. The dreaded day has come. I need to clean out my calceatum cage. As you can see, he's in ICU right now. I noticed last night he was up here in the corner, and he has two. You can't really pick it up. As you can see, he's not running. He's not doing anything. Dang it. That's not good. I'll get some moisture down there. I put him in here last night and it's looking a little bit better. Last night it was kind of lethargic and not moving at all. I need to get something here. Make sure this is dry. I'm actually going to use the dryer end here. Just going to give him a little nudge. I don't want to touch him too much. Just want to see where he's at as far as movement. Yeah, he's a lot livelier than he was. He, she. There is, I'm not going to touch him, but there's a black mark right here, and right behind his leg there's another one, and I don't know what it's from. So whatever is in his little hide that he's built here in the corner goes right down and underneath, goes under pretty far. Whatever's in there has caused that. I don't know if there's a cricket stuck down there that bit him. Maybe he got nibbled on by a cricket. I don't think so. I did put a couple of mealworms down there. He might have got nibbled on by them, but I don't think that's what that is. Because it doesn't seem like it was punctured at all. It seems like it almost looks like little black burn marks on a piece of paper. But of course they're not burn marks. And there's absolutely nothing near this thing ever that would give him a burn. So the only thing I can think is there's some kind of growth down there. Maybe he didn't take his bolus out. Usually their leftover food, once it's done, they kind of neatly wrap it up and bring it out and toss it. And I've seen videos of them actually coming out, and they'll take their pedipalps and they'll just toss it literally right out of their enclosure, and then you'll see it on the ground. And I haven't been noticing any bolus on the ground. There was one here the other day and I picked that out last week. You can actually see where I pulled it out. I usually take a little bit of the substrate with it, but he's been fed a number of times, he, she, and I have no idea what he's done with the bolus, or if that's a cause. Maybe he's left him underneath there and they've began to mold and they just touched his skin. Maybe there's just too much moisture, too much humidity. I don't know. Something's obviously tainted his home. There's one of the mealworms right there, so it's stuck in the web, probably still alive, but I highly doubt that's the cause. There's another mealworm there. So I'm just going to literally just take everything out. I'm going to try and dig out his hide the best I can. I don't see any mites in here at all. I'm going to take a good close look. I've got a magnifying glass here that I'm going to use to check the substrate. And usually when you're digging it up, you can see them moving around because they like to get away from the light. And I don't see anything so far. So just take it out, spread it a little bit. Get all these utensils away. And this really magnifies it for me, so if there's any movement, I will see it. And the mites still within, they can lay anywhere from 10 to 40 eggs a day. So it's not like if there was an infestation in here and it's moist enough, it's warm enough, it's perfect for mite colonies to take hold. If there was anything in there, I would definitely see it. And he's moving around over there, so I don't know if you can see him in the camera. Yeah. I'll kind of move him to the side so you can, watch him crawl around if he just wants to do so. Apologize in advance for my voice. I'm not feeling good right now. This needs to be done, or I'm going to lose this guy, and I don't want to do that. Not while I can avoid it. I'm not seeing anything movement at all. Oops. Just about knocked over the camera. Sorry, I'm just gonna put that over there. And I really don't see anything at all. I thought I just did, but no, it's not. No. Okay, now what I did find, so hopefully I can get him. There he is. This little guy crawling around in there. Mealworm. And it's literally, trying to feed these guys mealworms, he did take some. If I throw it down his hole, I don't know how well you can see down in there, but right down the top, I throw it right down the hole, and I usually watch, but he's got it really, really webbed in right here, so even with a strong light, you can barely penetrate through there to see. But I have been watching him, and I do notice his legs come out and grab the mealworms. But sometimes they'll just pull them in, and then they're out of sight, and they may let them go. They may just be, giving them a threat tap. Get out of my enclosure or my hide, kind of thing, and let them go. Which is a problem with any feeders you put in there, really, especially superworms and crickets. Those black crickets are really nasty. They will attack and kill a tarantula of that size, a full-grown one. If they can, they'll nip it and then they'll hop away, and then they'll come back. Very slowly, nip it and hop away. If the tarantula gets it, then it's toast. But if the tarantula is not hungry and just kind of wants to shoo it away, it will come back, and if it's hungry, it will try to eat the tarantula. And they are carnivorous, so if they nip its legs and such, it'll bleed out and they'll kill it, and they know this. It's kind of like a I don't know if anybody's familiar with monitor lizard, but if a monitor lizard's hunting, it'll run as fast as it can, and it has incredible stamina, and they'll run after their prey. A deer, run it down till it's tired, then they'll nip it on the leg, and their saliva's got kind of a, I don't know what it's in there, some kind of, it's just nasty. I can't remember what it's called, some kind of toxin. Anyway, it's toxic, and it gets into their bloodstream and it kills them, and then they go and eat it after it dies. So it's the same kind of scenario with a cricket. They'll do that, but they don't. I mean, with a tarantula, it'll just bleed out, and then after it's dead, they'll come back and they'll feed on it. So you come back to a tarantula that's completely, half devoured or completely devoured, depending on how many crickets you put in there. A lot of people just throw the crickets in there and leave them and expect the best, that the tarantula will get it later. But if it's not hungry, you're endangering your spider, extremely endangering it. It's not wise to leave food in there. These mealworms, of course, once they were in there, the only way for me to get them out was to rip apart his hide. I'll take a close look at that. Don't know what that is. It could be a piece of food left in there, but it looks moldy. Could be just part of the substrate. Maybe something got in with this when they were making the bricks. This substrate is coconut fiber, it's an Exoterra, I believe. Oh crud! Didn't want that to happen. I got most of his hide there. Just trying to get everything out from around his hide so that I can get to his hide and pull it out in one piece. Anyway, while I do this, it's kind of boring. I'm just going to pause it, and then when I get it out, I'll start it back up again. Alright, see you in a sec. Okay, I'm back. I've got all the substrate out, and I'm going to pull his little web hide out and dig through that and see if there's anything in there like mold or whatnot. I absolutely found no mites. He's got two spots in him that are black, and they look like cancerous spots. They're indented. So what I'm gonna do is clean up this mess first, then I'm gonna pull this out and take a good look at it. So I'm gonna pause you again. I did find 3 mealworms in there. I do believe there's a 4th stuck in the web somewhere, but I don't think these guys did this. They're not open wounds. They're just simply black marks that are literally, they just indent. It'd be like the spoon, it just goes straight in. One's on its top of its abdomen, left side, and the other one's literally right on the left side by its leg. It looks as if, he tucked his leg in there and indented his side, but that's not what happened. So I don't know. We'll find out. I'll clean this mess up and I'll be right back. Okay, I've cleaned up the mess and I'm taking this out. I'm not sure what I'm gonna find in here. Probably not a whole lot. I think its new enclosure is simply going to be, for now, both of them are going to get new enclosure, or their enclosures redone, and they're just simply going to be either very minimal substrate on the bottom or none at all, and a lot of bushes and stuff. I mean, inside here looks like a big mess, but inside is actually quite neat and tidy. What I'm going to do is use the scissors and cut this. It's literally like a sack with dirt on the outside. So if you cut it, and you look, I don't know if I can do this without getting dirt in there, and I don't want to get dirt in there, so. But if you look in there, I don't know if you can see, I can't really see much, but I'll show you when I open it up. It's literally just a smooth layer of web, like so. Now that I'll take a picture of and put it at the end of the video. There's a couple, I snapped a couple pictures as well. There is a hole there that's concerning to me that goes through the web, but I might have tore that when I was digging it out. Other than that, yeah, see? There's that mealworm that was in there, stuck in the web. Very much alive, so it could have been a mealworm that bit him, but I've never experienced that before. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I think this is the culprit here. He's got what looks like bits of food, yeah, left over inside there. And there is little white dots all around it, so that's probably mold. None of it's moving, so it is not mites. And there's another piece there. So keeping the humidity up in your enclosures is the cause of a lot of tarantulas' deaths due to not enough airflow to keep the mold out. And when they're in enclosures like this, there's not a lot you can do. If you poke holes in the bottom of this around here where the substrate comes up, what you're going to end up with is a whole lot of substrate all around your enclosure and falling out, and that's not always good. I'm experiencing that with my my new tarantulas right now. The slings that I just bought, they're in the tiny little vials. I poked holes around the bottom for airflow there, and around the top and the bottoms. Especially the little mealworms, when you put them in there and they dig down and they'll actually crawl out the little holes. So I'm constantly having to pick them up. So you have to watch them when you feed the little guys. You don't want to leave any food in there alive. If they don't eat it, take it out. But there's, I think that was the culprit. He was just leaning against that moldy piece of food, and the mold actually just ate into his side, I guess. I don't know, or maybe burned him somehow. Chemical reaction. I don't know. I wish I was a scientist and could tell you that what's what for sure. So there's two culprits, either these mealworms or the mold. That's the only two things that I can think of, as I don't see anything moving. There's no parasites, there's no mites, there's no anything moving at all. I'm literally going to take that out and stick it under the microscope. Yeah, it's not moving. There's nothing moving there. If those were mites or parasites of any kind, they would be moving around. So that's that. I'm gonna have to just do away with this mealworm first off. I'm gonna get on with this calceatum number 1. This is number 2. So these enclosures are going to be cleaned out and reused. They're going to go into some extreme hot water and get cleaned up. I don't know where I put the lid. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to clean up this mess, put out a new sheet, and then we're going to dissect the other enclosure. This one, Ashcal number 1, is going to get rehoused as well. So I'll put that in a separate video. This one's 22 minutes long. I'm not expecting the other one to go much quicker. Actually, it probably will, because I'm not going to dig through it as well. We'll see what kind of shape the other one's in, but it's definitely coming out of there. If this one's enclosure's giving it problems, then that one's enclosure's giving it problems as well, or it could potentially. Could be just too much moisture in there. I don't know. Anyway, hopefully I caught it in time. I should have been on it last week. Now this S-Cal, I did see some grain mites in there. I pulled some out and I looked at them underneath the microscope, and there was grain mites in there, feeding on the old boluses that it was pulling out of its enclosure. Could have been just cleaner mites, but I don't think they were harming them. So I haven't found any in that, and the one we just cleaned out. So who knows? We'll see what kind of shape this one's in. Anyway, stay tuned for that video next. This West Coast Arachnids. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Trying to reach 200 subscribers by the end of March. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.